everyone, it's Vicki and Natalie from Minerva, and we're back again this week to chat all about last night's episode of the Great British Sewing Bee. So last night was episode 8, which, how are we on to episode 8
it's
already?
Just absolutely flown by.
And so last night's episode, the theme was fashion icons, which I thought was a
Really
lovely,
fun.
really good theme, wasn't it? And I think it led to like 3 very different challenges, so it gave us lots of variety. Great to see some menswear in there as well. I really enjoyed it.
A bit of vintage. We've gone back in time. We're looking at kind of fashion icons of a certain era to an extent. You know, I think it's like 40s to 70s sort of bracket,
it's nice to sort of pull inspiration from vintage styles as well.
Yeah,
so, like, I love
and very
vintage,
different to like modern fashion icons. So that was cool.
And like you were saying, like we've seen lots of like sort of Met Gala inspiration and high fashion was having a a different spin on that and taking inspiration from vintage.
Modern fashion can be very like skimpy and sexy and fun. This is like classic, very figure hugging, like celebration kind of outfits.
Absolutely. I loved it. Yeah. So before we get stuck into the episode, tell us, Nat, what you're wearing.
I am wearing the Sew Me Something Peas Blossom top in our Minerva exclusive To Can Play Sweat in It.
Yes.
And I don't wear sweat in it a lot, and I should, because it's so comfy.
Yes.
It's like breathable at the same time, and I love that this is kind of, because I wear a lot of black, this is like the sweat in it in itself gives it like a marl, it gives it like an
a texture.
So it pops off of, whatever you're wearing, but it's still quite
it looks fab
fun.
Layered over the black dress you've got on underneath. Really, really nice.
And you've gone bold.
Yes, as always. Yeah, I love a print. So this is our Minerva exclusive viscose challis fabric. It's one of the very first prints we launched from the very first collection. I still love it so much. And this was called Graphic Floral. Just love it. I really love like a dark background with a floral that pops on it. Yeah.
I think you should show everyone your wardrobe one day. Just opens and it's just print.
It's just all me. Prints. And the top is it's the Stylark Betty tunic. So it's like a longer length kind of top. Which I must admit I feel comfy with that like. But I did make a couple of hacks. Like I didn't add the slit into the hem. I didn't add the band on. But apart from that, it's just I just kind of made a simpler.
Everyone loves
a
Stylark pattern, especially like a quick one. So
absolutely. So let's get stuck into it. So on to the first challenge then, so the pattern challenge, and this was the icon for this challenge was Audrey Hepburn, wasn't
Which
it?
I feel like everyone would know exactly what that is if they saw the picture.
Yes, absolutely. It's such an iconic look and everything is, and style, so it was the little black dress that she wore in Breakfast at Tiffany's, which it's just such an elegant look, isn't it? And I just love that whole sort of like period of dress, and it's just the glamour and it's just so sophisticated and elegant. I love it.
It's always been, the little black dress has always been that thing that said you all need one in one form, or it suits everyone, or there's always something comfy to be wearing. There's still that kind of like
I love a little black dress. For Christmas party or just any kind of dressed up occasion. I don't think you can go wrong.
Oh, you're gonna say funeral. I love a little black dress. Well, just come in, but no, that would be pretty glam if you went in an Audrey style.
It would, wouldn't it?
That gives like widow. But no, it was a really cool challenge. It was nice to see them make that, but they just sort of didn't go as traditional as it wasn't that exact silhouette. It was sort of a skimming, still 50s kind of like wiggly, and it
very
had a gorgeous
neckline. Didn't it?
And you, on first glance you think, oh, that'd be quite easy to make, and then you go, not so much. So lining, darted bodice, invisible zip, burrito method. I love burritos, but not that kind. It has made sewing life a lot easier, isn't it? The burrito method, if you can get it right. But
I think it's one of those things. Once you get it, it's fine, isn't it? But I mean, if any of the bees were doing it for I don't think any of them were doing it for the first time.
But
they have been doing? I mean, doing that for the first time under time pressure would just be a no, wouldn't it? But they all seem to be pretty sure. So it was just a time issue again for some of them, wasn't it?
It's a lot to finish in such a short amount of time,
especially handling satin as well. I think it's it's definitely not the easiest fabric to work with, but if you take your time with it, it's achievable. But they just don't have the time.
And it shows every little like lump and bump, and really needs pressing, which is again very time consuming to get those seams
which they don't necessarily have that, do they?
No, but it was great variety. Every single dress looked completely different. It gave a different vibe because they'd chosen such prominent fabrics. So I loved Lauren's choice of fabric, which is the peach.
That was my
skin.
favourite.
It was cool.
Oh, sorry, Lauren's. The matte fabric.
That gave like a kind of modern twist on it.
Yes.
That was very timeless. And if you're not like a satin shiny kind of person, that's
just
cool.
A peach skin finish just gives it's almost like a sand wash finish almost, isn't it? It might have been sand wash rather than peach skin, that fabric actually. But yeah, I loved that. It gave it a different look to the satin, didn't it?
It was much more modern.
Yes.
As was Vicky's, which was the really cool like orange and pink fabric, which was floral, and that looked gorgeous the way that was joining. I could definitely see wearing that to a wedding, like as a guest. Kind of thing. That was lovely. Really well finished.
So Mia's the mint green one.
Yeah.
They said, didn't they? I mean, she'd sewn it so well, but that colour in that fabric did. It just shows everything, doesn't it?
But they're just like nitpicking at this stage, aren't they? They're all very well constructed. They're all very well done. It just comes down to who's done that tiny little seed.
Yeah, it's just who's best on the day, isn't it? Yeah. Esme's the bright blue one. I mean, I loved that colour. I thought that looked fabulous. Yeah. In a solid that style, I just think it's so elegant, and she handled that fabric. Amazingly, didn't she?
Yeah, and then Tony had done the sort of floral satin, which was lovely. It was gorgeous fabric, and decided to use, as Vicky did, the lining fabric as the main, which got a little bit confusing. Yeah,
it tripped him up, that didn't it?
Well, he had a good tip, which was pop your pieces on completely separate tables so that they don't get mixed up. But it was the burrito part of placing them together.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And I know Jo has said in some of her Learn to Sew videos that she pops like a pin on one particular side or a safety pin or something just to give you that little...
It just reminds you, doesn't it?
Because, you get up, have a brew, come back and look at it and go, I have no idea where I was up to, what was happening. It's only like minutes and it's easy to get
just
lost.
Gone, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. So I think they all did an amazing job, and it was a really fun challenge to watch, wasn't it? So we picked our versions of what we would sew if we were given, an Audrey Hepburn style dress to make. So what pattern and fabric we choose. So do you want to go first?
Yes, sure. So I've picked, this is just to die for. This is more traditionally Audrey Hepburn sort of dress, but with this similar detailing on the back. So this is the Vogue 1102. It's just so dreamy. I would wear this in a heartbeat. I wish I had this for like prom. I wish I had this, it's just classic. So it's a really gorgeous, it's like, I don't know what the...
Like a fit and flare?
Fit and flare, because it's bigger than other silhouettes, really, isn't it?
And it's really fitted at the waist, really big skirt.
Yeah, and depending on the fabric that you use for this will really dictate how the drama that you get from that. And it's got a bow on the back, so that's the best part of it. One of the views, it's got the bow that ties, so it's sort of an extension of what they did with the construction on the back.
I love the bow detail, and it's a big bow, isn't it?
And
Esme will be happy.
You could do that in a contrast if you wanted to be more crazy. You could do the top and the bottom in different tones. It doesn't have to be like...
And my favourite bit on that pattern, even more than the bow, I love the bow, it's that neckline shape.
Yeah.
How beautiful
so
is
elegant.
that? Oh, I just think it's gorgeous.
Show a little back.
Exactly. Showing a little back, and just that cinched in waist, that big full skirt. I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's like goth girly too, so I'm always on board. And the fabric I've gone for this is a cotton sateen.
Yes.
To give that crisp.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like satin, but satin's less me. Shiny is less me.
Yes, and a sateen, it's not shiny, but it does have like a luxurious sheen of a finish, but it's not shiny.
And a little bit of stretch, which we always love.
A little bit, which will be so good on a pattern like that, because it's just going to make it more comfortable to wear. And fit-wise, it's just going to give you a little bit of wiggle room. It's going to make it just that bit easier to get a really good fit on it. And it's structured enough as well, so it's going to hold that bow really well, and it'll hold the shape of the skirt amazingly. I think your combo this week is just gorgeous. I love it. I kind of want it.
I need someone to invite me somewhere that I can wear that.
Yes, absolutely. Invite me too. Now the one in another colour.
The Audreys are here.
Yeah, absolutely. The Audrey twins. I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. And this is our core range stretch cotton sateen as well, so it comes in loads of different colours. So we've gone with the little black dress theme today, haven't we? But if you wanted a bright blue one like Esme's, or whatever colour, we'll have it in the.
Do you know with this as well? This is just a good one to have in your stash.
Yes.
We all collect patterns and things like that, but if you want like good reliable fabrics that are suitable for so many patterns, this is a good one.
I think sateen is one of the most underrated fabrics of all time. I say it all the time here at Minerva, don't I? And you've there's lots of different sateens available, but really they fall into two camps. So you've got stretch cotton sateens like this one, they're a bit heavier. And then you've got cotton sateens that are not stretchy, like our Minerva exclusive prints.
Yes,
and they're generally lighter weight and softer, and they have more drape, whereas this is definitely more structured. And between the two of them, you can practice, you can cover so many styles.
But they're such a joy to sew with.
Yeah, they behave themselves. Oh, they're just, I love them. And I really think because a lot of people get sateen and satin mixed up, they kind of instantly often look at sateen and think, no, I don't want anything shiny. And it's not at all. It's just, it's the way it's woven. The sateen is the weave, which just gives it this. It's an expensive weave to do.
It's the looks part.
It's the looks part of it, and it just gives it this just gorgeous finish that it just oozes like quality, doesn't it?
But there's so many patterns I can think in my stash that would be perfect for this.
Trousers, jackets, like structured tops, skirts, shorts, dungarees even. Pinafore dresses. I mean, it just goes on and on really. What you could, waistcoats, jeans, trouser patterns, everything, almost anything. So, but obviously patterns that require a bit of structure. But it's
like
just
a nice pleating, something needs a pleat or a gather.
Absolutely, or a big bow. It's really good fabric. And then the pattern that I've chose. I just think this is the most elegant pattern ever. This is Vogue 1692, and so this has the neckline at the front is a little bit different to last night, and it has like a keyhole detail at the front, it's so elegant, isn't it? And then the shape at the back is quite similar to last night in that it has like a sort of like a cutaway shape detail, doesn't it? And then I just love how it skims over the body as this thigh-high split.
And the peak of the lining. If you wanted to do that, it's a saucy one. But it's not like Vogue always managed to do like really classy, saucy. If that makes sense.
Classy, saucy.
It's like sexy, but not like too. Everything is very purposeful. Everything deliberately.
I think lots. I mean, anybody can wear whatever they want, but I think lots of age groups would feel comfortable in this as well. I know I would. As opposed to something like really short.
Where am I going to wear that? The supermarket.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure. Just strutting down the aisles. Throwing things in the basket. People will be like, "What's her story?"
Absolutely.
I just needed somewhere to wear a dress.
I just made it needed.
It's lush.
But like you just said then, I love how they've used a contrast lining. I think that's a really fun idea, and I think I would definitely do that, inspired by the envelope. So fabric choice, I've gone, again, we're sticking with the little black dress theme, and I've gone with our satin back dupion fabric, and this fabric, so this is a satin. You can see, hopefully on camera there, you can see the shimmer of that fabric. But the dupion weave is what makes this one a little bit different. And when you look up close, you can see like little textured slubs that have been woven into it.
Like linen slubs.
In a way. It does have its own distinct weaving. That, like, can you see how all the slubs sort of like run in one direction?
I've always wondered that.
And it comes from like if it was a pure silk dupion, that's like the natural sort of like original version. Whereas this is a synthetic version that's made to imitate it.
I see.
But that's where I guess the idea for these slubs came from, in that it was trying to imitate silk dupion.
But it gives it that little something, doesn't it?
It does, I love plain fabrics when they just have something extra about them. Something like with the sateen weave. This with the textured dupion slubs. There's just something.
This is also the perfect way to show them together. If you ever didn't.
Yeah, you can see how matte that is in comparison, can't you? And the other thing that's special about the dupion fabric is that it's satin on one side, but then it's completely matte on the other. So if you don't like satin, I mean, technically it's called satin backed dupion.
Right.
So technically the satin would be the wrong side.
That is great, because if you ordered a fabric and it felt too bougie, you've got another option.
And what I really love, and I think you could possibly incorporate it on that pattern, probably like maybe the bodice and the skirt part, is using some of each side. So maybe like the satin for the bodice, and then...
Oh my gosh, that would look so lovely.
And it's a core range that comes in lots of colours, so you could get red in it for the lining. Maybe the satin for the lining, matte for the dress itself.
That'd be so good. I do really like. I didn't realise that. You often feel like you're breaking the rules if you sew with the other side of the fabric, but it would open so much, like so many
potential.
A world of like opportunity with sewing, gives it like a different vibe.
Yeah,
I like that, because then if you bought your fabric and you still don't know what you're going to sew from it, you've got like you've got a stash and you've not yet decided. It gives you like another
it's just more options, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. So the second challenge last night, so the transformation challenge. So this time they had to transform a shower curtain,
just running around the house.
Into, it was like a high fashion outfit. They said, didn't they?
Do you know, when I saw the preview last week, I thought, how is this going to go? This must be one of the hardest, along with the like beach little plastic things. It's very similar to that. And also trying to protect one's modesty through making an actual wearable garment from a shower curtain. Well, I was very pleasantly surprised. I think they've all really got into the rhythm of this challenge now. You know, if you've done it like 8 times now, your brain has to go get a bit better at quickly formulating something.
And I guess kind of learning what's achievable in that hour and a half.
Or playing to their skills, which might be like Esme and Mia did, so like draping or creating a bust cut from, knowing the basic shapes. That Lauren did the same. They were cutting like a cone shape and bringing that into a bust. That's a clever way to go about it, I think. If you want anything that's sort of mildly fitted. It was cool. It was it
was different, wasn't it? And again, 5 very different looks. I think the rules were they were allowed 2 shower curtains, weren't they? And Esme and her brand, I think from the 70s, Swanky molds. That was the inspiration.
And they've taken what they said was like ugly, like very printed, like ducks and they made like some fun.
Like they say, beauty can be transformed from.
And they all, they all did have the very like sort of clear or iridescent or prismed or like, and Vicki used the yellow one. No one went like, super cheesy,
like plastic ducks printed all over.
Which would have been harder to make high fashion probably. It was cool. Like I absolutely love Tony's approach with the giant hood. And the like, I think it was more like rave rather than like high fashion, but it depends which runway it's walking, to be honest.
Absolutely.
It literally could, and it looks so cool to have the colour popping out from underneath.
That prism effect I thought worked really well layered over colour, because it just like distorted it a little bit.
It was really fun.
And
I feel like he knew exactly what he was going to do. Everyone was kind of using big chunky zips, which really went with the vibe as well. Asma's featured. Asma made like 4 pieces.
She always takes on a lot in terms of like lots of garments, doesn't she, in it?
Which was cool. It was kind
so
of more girly, more like beach wear kind of thing.
I loved the pink and turquoise zip.
That was cool. That was really cool.
I've
never worked with a big chunky plastic zip. I'll have to rectify that. I'm actually genuinely inspired to try the shower kit. I am. I think it's a cool idea.
Go on then, what would you have made? Because if I'm honest, I'm just like, I've no idea.
Well, I think because of the structure of it, my first thought was peplum, which happens a lot. I just go like, let's have something kick out here. But that might have looked a little bit like office. So as it was going on and seeing people using the big chunky zips, I thought how cool it would be to have quite a basic dress, but to have the zips going the whole way, like on every side of it. Or that could either start at the bottom so that they've just got this big effect of all the zips. I loved anyone that left in the part that hooks, the loops in there. So I probably would have gone less about construction, more about the finishes. So lots of rings, lots of zips. Just very like.
I'm just studying here thinking I've still no idea. I
just put it over like a kid, like a superhero cape.
Cut a hole in it.
Ta-da!
I think like with that, because it's such a structured fabric, isn't it? That I would have to have it in my hands, have a mannequin, and just start playing.
Absolutely, I don't think you can guess.
Together.
You can't guess what you're going to think on the day. Kind of thing.
Mia's very good at that, isn't she? From she just kind of lets the fabric tell her what it wants to do, and
that was cool. And I think that's really good process to have if you're feeling creative. To just...
I know shower curtain wise, I would definitely have gone for the ones that Mia chose. Like that holographic one and the stars, and
she did a little chain detail over the top, which was really cool, and it went with it. that.
Yeah.
Vicki did the big yellow one and added the frills, and that was like, it felt very like 70s, which is really like her aesthetic. She always stays true to like what she really likes. And Esme was saying, well, Patrick said the V's were really cool as well, and I thought that did make it.
Yeah, I think she's coming into her own a bit. With her transformation, because she's definitely, that's always been the one she seems to have struggled with more, isn't it? But yeah, she just seems to be like, she's got. Feels like she's built confidence
knowing
now,
what to expect, what craziness is coming.
Yeah, exactly. But, shower curtain, no problem.
Yeah, and then Lauren did the full nudie Rudy see-through.
Yeah, I knew it was it.
I think again, the same way I said I've worked with the hardware and stuff, it was great to see the exposed seams, like that was the whole point of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she constructed the top really well, and like it looked great.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, if you're working with an entire shower curtain, it could just go on and on, couldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you get a really long kind of fashion look from it. But it was really cool.
Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it?
Did a good job. And again, they're nitpicking now, so it was just it was hardly anything in it between them.
Yeah. And to some extent it's probably, you know, like personal taste as well as now, as if they're all really good like technically, then it's just what they prefer, isn't it? So and then fun. So we've picked out a couple of fabrics. You know, if you don't just happen to have a shower curtain in hand that you want to, you know, pull apart. But yeah, these are some quite unusual fabrics that we have on the site.
This is cool.
So this is one of our like matte vinyl fabrics. So it's clear, but it's like a frosted clear, so it's not
and it just feels
completely
totally
clear.
Different.
Yeah, it's so soft, isn't it? This would be a lot easier to sew with than an actual shower curtain.
It's more along the lines of latex feeling because it's so soft.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, rather than a harsh PVC, it's got so much.
Yeah.
It'd be way easier to handle, but how cute with a little raincoat.
For a little girl. Oh, well, for me, anyone. For me. For a child.
For a big girl. That would be really sweet.
Oh, like a mummy and child matching one. How adorable would that be?
Mummy and cats.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But that's just kind of, or like festival vibes. That always gives me that, you know. But if you
even actually like a rucksack or something, some sort of bag in it. But yeah, so this one is obviously the sunflower print, but we do have quite a few prints on the site, so you can just go to like the vinyl filter.
But the way it looks against skin as well is just really fun.
It's just, you could really play with that in terms of which parts were, you know, exposed.
And do some little matching buttons if we've got little sunflower buttons. Very cute.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And then the other one, which we have featured on a video previously, bag making, that was it, So this is our clear vinyl fabric, which again, hope you can actually see that on camera with it being completely clear.
This looks like
this to me definitely has more, you know, it's so much, it's thicker, it's more structured, definitely a bit more difficult to handle, just because it's so,
it's a step up from a shower curtain,
isn't it? Yeah, exactly. But that, I guess, would give you like if you're trying to create something with a completely clear look.
But that'd be fun if you had a sort of garment underneath, like maybe a small two-piece. You've got like a fun, colourful two-piece, and then you made a dress. Like a vinyl dress or coat that goes over the top.
On Minerva, like there's people in the community that have made like clear like raincoats. So it's obviously you see your outfit through it underneath. I really like the festival.
I know, that's so true. If you get all dressed up to go out and then you have to put a big coat over it, you're like, no one's going to see how good this looks.
Whereas this, you know, I mean, a full length coat, and you could still see your whole outfit and not get wet.
Very
brilliant.
So if you're up for the challenge,
that's the one. Definitely a bit of a challenge. You're going to have to think creatively, but I'd love to see what people made in this. Inspired by the challenge. So the third challenge last night, the made to measure, so it was to make a smoking jacket. So first menswear.
I know, but I didn't know. I thought smoking jackets were just kind of like a hoity-toity thing to wear. And then they were saying because it protects from the ash. I never realised it was sort of invented for a purpose. Which was amusing.
And I must admit, I'm still a little bit unsure as to what technically makes something a smoking jacket as opposed to a jacket.
In a certain fabric. I suppose it's got the connotation of being luxe and velvet and of that particular time frame that we're thinking, but I guess like...
and I think it like maybe to do with the shape of the collar. Because that's different to like if you had a
well, there's so many new terms we learned because they were talking like the body of the collar. They were talking about things that I've never heard of because I don't make menswear.
I saw very little menswear.
But the same, no, it was good. It was a really interesting challenge in terms of the icons.
Definitely.
Lots of different fabrics were used. So the velvet, the corduroy. I thought cord was really fun. chenille, so it was a curtain-y
Yes.
kind of fabric, and then
Yep.
brocade, which Mia would use.
Yeah.
Let's dive into Mia's because that was really fun.
Yeah,
Like, that was just,
absolutely.
if we're talking about taking a challenge and making something you've never seen before.
Putting your spin
your
on it.
designer spin on it.
Like if you didn't know whose was
Yeah.
whose, you could guess that was Mia's, couldn't you?
Yeah, and because she's a crafty gal, she went, oh, you just get a bowl and draw, you know, and that's fun. Like, that's the whole point
Yeah, and
of
Patrick
it.
was there at the end, wasn't he, saying
He's
like
never-
how difficult it is to
Never.
do.
He
And
said, I've never seen anything like
He
this
did,
in
didn't he?
all his years of menswear. So
Yeah,
that's just such a compliment
But
to
he was
Mia.
saying, you know, how difficult it is to create those scallops done as well.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yeah, draw around a
But
ball.
I love that because she's taken inspo the way she should have and then gone, today's world is androgynous, people like to dress how they want to, there are no rules, it
Harry
doesn't have
Styles
to be.
was her
It's
icon
true.
of choice,
And
wasn't he? Yeah.
if you're going to go for it, go for it. So I thought it was really cool fabric. A lot of people were probably going, that's my nan's, you know, curtains or whatever, but I thought it was great. And,
I loved the brocade fabric,
and the scallops and the little tie. It was very, very cute, so I loved that.
Yeah, she. I mean, it was all about the scallop on that jacket, wasn't it? And she run out a little bit of time at the end, but it didn't spoil it at all, did it? It's just.
I quite liked
really,
how
really
the collar wasn't a separate contrast. I liked that it was part of the. It was a more subtle.
See, and in contrast to that, Vicky's jacket, which was the patterned velvet one with, I think it was a red plain contrast.
Or it was like a red velvet.
Red velvet
or something.
was it?
It had a different texture to the jungle.
And that was a solid, and the rest was a print, wasn't it? So that was a huge contrast. But again, I thought that worked really well in that case.
Again, more modern. I felt like I'd see that guy on like a casino. Not that I go to casinos, but you know, it was snappy.
Yeah. I mean, the fit, it was a little bit small, wasn't it? Which, like we were saying, they definitely played on that with the editing, didn't they? Because
they were like,
she mentioned it, like, oh, it's the best small, no, it'd be fine.
Patrick saying the rule of thumb is that it should come down to you. How would you even know that?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
What if you've got long arms?
Is that just a style choice as well?
Yes.
Like, men are allowed to, or anyone's allowed to wear a short jacket if they want.
What, do you want to show off your butt?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I really liked Vicky's though. I just thought that, a print again, I am a sucker for print.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked that it was very fitted as well. I think that's very... I can imagine lots of guys liking that kind of fit rather than something quite oversized. Well, you're only
going to get so many things off the shelf. So if you're going to go for it, a lovely fit and a really bold print is like.
I think if that had just been that touch bigger, I think she could have been in for Garment of the Week with that. I think.
Yeah.
But, then so Tony's and Esme's in a way weren't too dissimilar.
No, but Tony was inspired by Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah,
which was great.
Yeah,
it had the cool corduroy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Loved it. Bravo to Tony because he decided to do a welt pocket on television.
Yeah.
Like. Do you know? And he's really aware that he's getting to the finals and it's amping up.
Yeah.
I mean, you really got to go for it. Because he has done a few simpler dresses before that for concept wise have been fabulous. So he was keen to show off his skill set.
Yes.
And so is menswear and gets to try it on and all that.
Yeah.
It was really great.
And
gorgeous lining again. It was like a poppy thing.
And he had the contrast again, didn't he? And then Esme's was very similar colour palette wise, wasn't it? But she chose velvet and a brocade for the contrast, hasn't she? Now, personally for me, I preferred the look of the velvet. I think the corduroy, it can be quite stiff on a jacket, but that's just my personal take. I think they were both fabulous, and
I'm
good
always
to see
blown away as well
fabrics.
because some fabrics have like an older vibe to them. The brocade, the darker black that she'd used. I looked at it and thought, you like snooker play. It gives me like an older.
I know what you mean.
But she made it when it all comes together, it looks right.
Yeah.
Like it's having that vision of how it's going to come together.
It's interesting though, just that change of like corduroy to say velvet and brocade, just how much more casual it made Tony's feel. It's just a fabric choice difference, isn't it?
Inspired by a different era. Once more Bond, once more Willy Wonka. But
And Esme went for patch pockets, didn't she? Which was probably the more sensible choice in the time.
And Vicki no pockets. Patrick was also like, wow.
It was flabbergasted, wasn't it?
She said they've got enough pockets, which is true. Oh god, so funny.
It did keep the line of it very simple though, and elegant, didn't it? So I thought that was the right thing to do. Yeah.
And then Lauren had gone with a chenille chenille. So I don't really know much about chenille, but she was saying it was like a curtain.
Yeah,
originally.
we're not like specialists in home fabrics here at Minerva. You know, we're specialists in fashion and dressmaking fabrics. But my understanding of a curtaining chenille fabric is that it's quite a loose weave. It's quite textured. And it can be quite, even though it's heavy, it can be quite limp and unstructured. Yeah. Which I don't think is what you want for a jacket.
You're making your life harder.
She made her life difficult. Yeah. I so felt for her. Yeah. I wanted to like reach through the screen and give her a hug and tell her it's okay. Because it's just not your day.
When there's a project that's got so many steps, if one of them's taking you a while, like the insertion of the sleeve,
I think that was
it just has a knock-on effect, doesn't it?
Yeah. So because she spent a long, it kept going back to her and she kept working on I think it was like the way the sleeve was hanging, wasn't it? Yeah. Which I thought it'll be that fabric because it's loose and a bit limp and you know, it just doesn't have that like sort of body and structure that you want.
And also because quite a lot of the models were quite built. A lot of them had pretty big arms, so it was going to be. I mean, Esme even left the shoulder pads out. She was like, "Oh, you don't need these." Stacked.
It's a good choice, that though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would have been good.
And I did think with Lauren's as well, like when she talked at the beginning about binding all the insides. I mean, had she have got that done, it could have looked fabulous, couldn't it? But I think there's more work in that than there is in the lining.
It was a really like fun way of showing a skill set for binding on top.
Yes,
but I would never. Yeah,
I would
hide my mistakes.
It's more forgiving, isn't it? The lining, and yes, there is that element of like you've practically got to make 2 jackets. But I still think that's probably less time than the binding. So, it just wasn't her day, was it? And I really felt for her because if she just had, you know, a couple more hours or, you know...
Or a little time out. Imagine if they could just go, maybe, stop.
And just to reset it. You know, that her jacket would have been absolutely fabulous, wouldn't it? Yeah. I hope she, like, remakes that in her own time. Yeah. She loves it. Yeah.
Or most of them probably won't go anywhere near menswear.
Well, yeah, probably, like they'll need a break from it.
Traumatic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, gosh, but she did good. So, we have a pretty close smoking jacket pattern.
Yes, we've both chose again our picks of what we would make, and we've got very different this week, haven't we? Which I love seeing like how different. Sometimes we've got similar takes, haven't we? And other times we just go completely different.
Like we both wear the first dresses we spoke about this one. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one I think is very close to what this pattern I think is very close to what a lot of them made, and it's called Le Smoking Jacket from Folkwear Patterns, pattern number 238. And when you look at the line drawing on the back, it actually includes a knitted tank top as well.
Ooh,
and
treat yourself.
And then it has it includes pattern pieces for both a women's fit and a men's fit, which I thought was quite good. So I'm imagining the women's one is maybe just a bit more fitted, maybe. But both of them are like practically identical to a lot of the ones that were on last night. And it really has that kind of shape around the collar. Yeah. It has the patch pockets, the belt tie, and it even has like the cuff detail.
It's really fun alternative, and it's kind of opened my eyes to what you could wear to a wedding. Really. You know, it's still sort of like 2-piece suit, 3-piece suit. Yeah. But if you could make this, it could literally either be a fancy dressing gown, or you could, if you made it in some more like structured kind of...
Yeah, fabric choice on this just completely changes the look of it, changes how and where and when you might wear it.
How comfortable you'd be at a wedding as well in basically a robe, a stylish robe, rather than feeling all...
I mean, I think that would be really comfortable to wear in any fabric, even in a more dressed up fabric, just because it's like a wrap tie, and
maybe we'll see a revival now.
Maybe, because it's definitely not a style I've like.
I mean, and then do you just wear the tank under it?
Yeah, I don't.
So you're
really
at the
know.
wedding and you just
I don't really know. I mean, that on the line, the drawing on the front, this like stylized.
It's got a tie.
That's how they're wearing it.
Oh,
so,
I see.
Yeah, they wear like this, so they wear it open with the tank top underneath. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty chic, actually.
Yeah.
Well done, Swanky, for bringing this to our attention.
And with this cocktail in hand. Yeah, I could see myself in that sense. So fabrics I've gone for. I mean, like I said right at the beginning, like I love kind of the glamour and elegance and sophistication
like a Gatsby
of times gone by. Yeah, absolutely. So I would want
You're channeling Gatsby.
Yeah. So we've both chose 2 fabrics, haven't we, to kind of give, not necessarily to use together, although I think you could with mine, but they're both like, I've kind of got 2 options because I couldn't really just choose just one. So first one I've gone for is our triple velvet. This is the wine colour. A Minerva core range that comes in lots of colours. And it's a woven velvet, so there's no stretch. And honestly, like when they talk about velvets that are difficult to sew with, this is what they're talking about.
The one.
But you know, like knit velvets are like
I tend to work with knit. I sew with velvet more than anything else, probably.
Yeah, you love
but
velvet, yeah. And this, it's absolutely fabulous. It's just one of those that, you know, you've got to be careful pressing it, and you've just got to take your time sewing it. So you know, in my world of the sewing bee, where I'm not under time restrictions making this, I think it will be fabulous in this. And then I went for, this is one of my favourite brocade fabrics on the site at the minute.
Is just gorgeous.
I just absolutely love it. So it's like a black and like antique gold kind of colour. I even think the back's pretty cool as well.
This is just gorgeous. This is just gorgeous for all women's wear.
Yes.
Like, what sprung to mind are all those cashmere dresses that are like, and the dresses at the start, like literally everything would look gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to make a dress in this. Actually, Anna from Tip Top Sewing on Minerva, if you look at her profile, she's made like a strapless fitted bodice flared skirt dress in this, and it is, she made it a little while ago now, and I still think about that dress because I just think it is absolutely
You're gonna message her and say,
well, yeah, I have to create my own version of it. But yeah, I do think this would be fabulous as like a contrast to the velvet if you wanted like the, you know, the collar to be different. Or I think the whole thing made in that would be lovely. Or you could maybe contrast with a velvet collar.
This is sort of like a safer approach to Mia's brocade. This is more monochromatic, but still gives the floral kind of fun effect.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I think hers was more, because it looked like a metallic textured brocade, didn't it? And pastel, so it had like a fun vibe.
But if that scares you, if that's too out there, this is a good gateway between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just love it. Yeah, for a smoking jacket, I think it would just be amazing. But a dress, but we're not
really,
talking dresses,
we're just thinking about we're not thinking about smoking jackets. And I've gone for the Simplicity 9692, which is kind of like a casual, like autumn sort of jacket, but it does have it has the elements of the smoking jacket. So it's like a modern day
casual take on it, isn't it? Yeah.
So, and men's and women's pattern in several views. So you've got options. So if you're not thinking, I probably don't have a smoking jacket to wear, but you want to put those skills to test that are quite similar.
Yeah.
It's
and
more
just
relaxed.
Have that casual.
The
wrap over jacket.
Yeah. So it would still incorporate the belt. It's got button fixtures. It's got the kind of similar collar. Yeah. So this is really, really.
It's even got the turn-up cuff details.
Yes. So they've got some like faux fur kind of Sherpa-y stuff going on there as well. But it's so lovely. And then hold on to your hats because this is the most obvious and not at all like what was in the challenge yesterday, but a really nice way of kind of using this pattern to actually something you wear on a daily basis.
Yeah, so this is a Sherpa fabric. So it's like a textured fleece comfort fabric. Yeah. And it's a knit, so it has just like not like loads of stretch, but it just has a bit of sort of give in it.
But it feels so lovely.
It's just,
it's
really,
so
cozy,
nice.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, like if I was making this in that, I'd probably want to do the whole thing in this and have the collar and all of it in that cosy.
Pick a colour out.
Yeah.
You could almost do the collars and cuffs.
Actually, I mean, because we have like a plain cream Sherpa. Probably have the other colours as well, actually. But you like the plain cream, if you just did that for the collar.
It's a good size pattern as well. It's good to get the scale of this one. But that's lovely. This is an everyday kind of a smoking jacket.
Yes.
Modern day
absolutely.
one. And then just
the
razzmatazz.
I love what you've chosen.
Just look at this. We had to get some pink in there.
This
is so cool, and I've never seen this in the flesh before.
So this is like a metallic quilted fabric. So like it actually has like little stitch lines that create this quilted texture.
Yeah.
And it's a knit, so it's not got, again, huge amounts of stretch, but just a little bit. Again, it's going to be really comfortable to wear. And I don't know, something about a quilted texture. I think it's a really good idea.
It's a nod. It's the decadent nod to quilted velvet or whatever.
Yeah.
And with the pattern that you chose, actually, having women's cut.
Yeah.
Thing for a wedding, if you made a suit, a really cool wraparound suit from this with matching trousers and then a contrasting tank.
Yeah. I think
you literally upstaged the bride.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
I think even though, like, you know, if you just had jeans and a top on and this was your jacket, you know, in those like seasons where it's not cold enough to wear like a full-on coat, but you need an extra layer. Like, how fun would that be to wear every day?
Really fun.
Yeah. And this does come in different colours as well. I mean, the pink is.
Oh, it's just.
The pink's very cool.
This is like give me Barbie vibes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yes, I mean, we've definitely gone for total opposites.
Yeah. So I've skipped what I would do on the show. I've just gone with
what
like 2 really cool ideas. But I think between the patterns and fabrics we've chosen, there's so many options for like actually having a go at something that you would actually wear.
Yes.
You know, be it a dress in this or the pantsuit or just be really fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that concludes our roundup of episode 8 of the Sewing Bee. I loved this week. I thought it was a fantastic mash-up of different challenges and different icons I wasn't really expecting.
Yeah.
We only got 2 episodes to go.
I know.
So next week, episode 9, is Utilitarian Week. So that's fun. It's kind of like a very hands-on approach. I think garments that have been used for very specific reasons and upcycles. So the first one is trench coats.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, a lot of people probably attempted a trench coat.
I love a trench coat, so I'm quite excited for that.
That could have almost gone in this episode, really, for how iconic it is. So a trench coat, and then there's a transformation challenge.
Sorry, going back to trench coat though, I mean, how much time are they going to be given for that? Because that is a full-on project, isn't it?
To make like a cropped version.
with very few pockets and details.
Yeah, so it would be fun to learn the history of that and then to see how they get on with that. And fabric choice. And then transformation challenge is upcycling like cleaning supplies. So we've seen rubber gloves, we've seen mops, we've seen Tony wrestling with a mop.
I mean, I'm really sorry again, but I'm probably next week going to come to this saying I've no idea what I would do.
Well, yeah.
But you never know, I might be inspired.
We just don't walk into the kitchen and go, right, that's what I'm going to use. And then for the final challenge, we're doing boiler suits, which I'm very interested in because I've wanted a boiler suit for a long time, but scared that I would look like a horror character, a very famous horror character, you know, because it's just, they're very boxy, and I've seen designs where you can do like an elasticated thing to bring them in, but I've always felt a bit scared to tackle it because the fitting involved in your own unique proportions. If you've got a long body, I think we always say we're long bodies.
Well,
we're the opposite.
Yeah, I think with me, I always thought I had a really long body in comparison to my legs. Yeah. But I've like over the years, I've been to like different fitting workshops and things like that, and I once went to like a pattern drafting course a few years ago now, and I learned that it's my body rise that is really long. So basically, that's from your waist to like the bottom of your bum, if you will. That section. Right. So like, say I think I fit between say it was like a size 12 and a 14, say on like a standard simplicity pattern. Yeah. But my body rise was in like an 18 to 20. Right. So oh my gosh. Yeah. That literally might have been where I'm going wrong. So you know when you want to make something, and the waist would be here, but the crotch doesn't. Yeah, you've really got to get that right, and that's always the bit that I'm a bit scared of. So I know when I was a teenager, I remember jumpsuits were like really in, and you know, it was a time when I wasn't sewing, or I wouldn't have maybe sewn a jumpsuit. Yeah. So I remember like trying a couple on in the shops, and nothing ever fit me. And then I remember like the first time I made a jumpsuit, and like, you know, it was definitely a lesson learned in terms of toiling and everything, but just being able to make it the right size. Rather than to fit into something that you know is just off the shelf. I think what I like about jumpsuits and boiler suits as well is that it's literally the entire outfit. You haven't got to think very hard about styling and stuff. It speaks for itself in a kind of fashion context. And like I like dresses for that reason, that you just don't have to think what you're pairing together. But sometimes dresses, you know, sometimes just a jumpsuit or a boiler suit, it's just more practical than a dress for lots of us. So I think it'll be nice to see boiler suits given the moment on the sewing bit. But again, I mean, like all kinds of stuff. That is an involved project, isn't it? And under time pressure, I feel for
I'm
them.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to
Yeah.
see it. Yeah.
So yeah, can't wait for next week. And yeah, do let us know in the comments, did you enjoy today's video? What did you think of who went home, of who won garments of the week? What did you think of all the challenges? What did you think of the shower curtain challenge?
Yeah.
Would love
Have
to
you
know
pulled
that.
down your shower curtain in order to sew up to
In order to make a see-through dress. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you in the comments as always. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you again next week.